Hey guys, it's FragWatch here, where I frag and you watch. Today we're going to be doing a review of the DMS Project Omega. Quite an excellent pair of cans here. Let's start off with a little bit about my testing process. I give it some musical listening for about 5 hours, and I have a pretty good selection of pre-chosen songs I use to test headphones. And then I break them in overnight, usually looping a couple albums. This time I looped Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy, and the Infinite Sadness for 15 hours to break them in. I did notice a slight difference after breaking them in the low end particularly. That could be placebo, but I definitely seem to enjoy them more the second day. I enjoyed them the first day, don't get me wrong. They were awesome. My initial impressions were I was shocked at the quality, especially the build quality of the 3D printed parts. It's very solid. These free spin, pretty easily, which can be really bad. But otherwise, the headphones are really solidly built. It looks like it's crooked on my head, but it's not. I think it's just a camera angle. The cord for them is very short, but it is a very, very high quality cord, and it is machined. The metal pieces on it are machined very well, connected very tightly. And I put a lot of force into trying to pull this out. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but it stayed in there, which, I was very impressed. This, I'm not sure, it's the splitter, I'm not sure whether it has a ferrite choke in it, but the machining quality I think it's either aluminum or steel, very good. I'm very impressed with it. The musicality, very good. The range of frequencies and the balance, pretty good. I wouldn't call it neutral. I might call it a little more low end heavy or low mid frequency range heavy, which I think it sounds wonderful. The thing that surprised me the most, given the siding of it and that it's partially closed, is the soundstage is wow. This is going to sound crazy, but I think it beats the Sennheiser 800 for soundstage. That's, for those that know headphones, that's saying a lot. The Sennheiser 800 is kind of the gold standard in the below $3,000 price category for soundstage. And I think this might be. I haven't been able to find a pair of cans that can give me the sense that I'm in a room and it's measured out and I can visualize it as perfectly as these give me the ability to, just based off of the sound. And it feels like you can go to the space where they recorded the actual music and how they recorded it. And this was most evident to me in, I'm looking at my notes here, Louis Armstrong's A Wonderful World album. In particular, the song What a Wonderful World, and track 2, Cabaret. Man, they just felt buttery. It felt accurate. It felt like I could pinpoint the sounds. You could hear all the subtlety. It was just incredible. I put it through some distortion tests at loud volume. Casey Musgrave's High Horse, the initial 30 seconds at loud volume will crackle, and it has artificial distortion in it, but I've found that at high volume you get crackling on high-end speakers, high-end headphones, except for the ones that can really, really handle that load and that pace. And it's these handled it, and I was very surprised and impressed by that. For bass fluency and depth, I used Migo's Culture 2 album, and it was a really good experience. I really enjoyed it. The lower end of the bass extended deeper than I thought it was going to. Very impressed with that. The Gladiator soundtrack I used for volume variability and frequency variability testing, and that it can have mixed and multiple frequency exchanges that are slower in nature. So you have quick, rapid volume and frequency exchanges in intensity, and then you have slower ones throughout that album. The Gladiator soundtrack battle track in particular, you experience that. And Hans Zimmer, his soundtracks are known for that pattern of behavior and musicality, and it's very, I mean, it handled it really well. I'm very impressed. Smashing Pumpkins 33 and Farewell and Good Night. I'm reading my notes here. Piercing sudden vocal frequency and energy and frequency bursts that are well handled. High frequency fluency. So what I meant by that was it translated the recording pinpoint at the higher ranges of frequency, the high mid and the high range, without being in particularly fatiguing or too bright, which I thought after I broke them in that I might experience, because the low end was handling and driving things so well. These are also very efficient. Let me mention that just right now. I was very impressed. It handled dynamic frequency and volume variability again in 311 Sweet and Offbeat Badass. Yeah, very impressed with that. For Fear Factory's Resurrection, I found that was a good test of the soundstage, in the sense that it was the first time I've listened to that track and felt the soundstage giving me a claustrophobic feeling, like I was in the recorded. It was wild. Like, I've never experienced that before. I've listened to a lot of high-end headphones, listened to music for 35 years now. It's and hi-fi has been a part of my life since I was a kid. Since I was about 4 or 5, I started getting into listening to music with my family, and my dad was a hi-fi guy, and so that kind of started me on my journey. I got used to good quality audio and recordings and equipment, and so I've had a lot of experience with it. And this is, I think my final conclusion for it. Let me get the few bad songs. So, Chance the Rapper's All We Got. I got uncomfortable at and these were very high volumes. These were, maximum volume that was tolerable. In the section between, it handled well at the 1 minute section, but the 1 minute and 14 second to 1 minute and 40 second section of All We Got by Chance the Rapper was, man, there were some micro distortions in there that were distracting. That's the way I'll put it, distracting. Because the thing with hi-fi equipment, especially headphones, is the better they are, the more they get out of the way and let you listen to the actual music, the actual recording. And that's the important part, right? But on the second part of that song, it handled the second verse with only minor distortions. The only two songs I was really just, I don't know if it was the way they were recorded or the way the frequencies played out and the energy transfer, but the artist Prof, the snare he uses in most of his tracks was tiring. It was very bright. It hit hard, and it's the only track I could find where it felt like that. In 311, which uses a very similar snare for most of their songs, I did not find it fatiguing. And I don't know whether it's the way that it's mixed, but that's my opinion on that. So my overall view of this, and I tried to get measurements. I cut out a box with holes for an ear, trying to simulate a skull, and put my U-Mic 1 here that I use for my home theater equipment with a mini DSP to lock in my subs in low range, or several mini DSPs. But I couldn't get it to really get a good measurement that I felt was accurate and true to the headphones and what they were actually producing. So I am not going to show you those measurements. I did them with Rue and my laptop, and yeah, I'll try and work on a better system or a better apparatus to hold the microphone and settle it so I can get a better measurement set on my next reviews. And I got some more cans to review in the line. Some are older, and some you know, best bang for the buck type stuff, right? Anyways, my final thoughts on this is that these are the alpha and the omega for under $1,000, period. I would even go as far to say, and not including headphones that are on sale, okay? I would go as far to say that under $1,500, Project Omega is the best bang for the buck that you can get. And I think DMS should be very proud of himself on that, and really sip that in and know he accomplished something extraordinary. Project Omega DMS is the alpha and the omega of under $1,500. And that's my final word. And this has been FragWatch with my review of DMS's Project Omega.